And here we are once again, folks, Big Daddy, along with Leah Lywood, and we have Amanda producing our show today as well in the background, and we're on the air worldwide on our YouTube channel, Halton Hills Online YouTube channel, and thanks for watching our videos. They're all there too, aren't they?
Every one of them, right from day one.
You can go right back. Lee Lakin's still not here. He'll be back in a few weeks, hopefully, and we'll get him back on the air. We sure miss him, of course. But we have Amanda here training to do some video work with us as well, and she's going to be working local radio with us. It's exciting to have at least two gorgeous women every Friday at 4 o'clock. I get to hang out in the studio with two gorgeous women. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. Here we are, and let's look at the news headlines, stuff that's happened this week, and I'll get through this quickly because you want to get to Leah's rock and roll trivia.
That's the fun
Why are you
stuff.
upgrading your computer in the middle of a video show?
I'm not this. Shh.
Anyway.
And I wasn't upgrading, and I'm fixing the brightness. It's too bright.
U.S. ex-lawyer Alex Murdaugh. He admits lying about, but denies killing his family, of course. Weinstein's at it again. He begs for mercy as he is sentenced for another rape. Moldova's warning of the Russian psyops as tensions rise there. Alec Baldwin enters not guilty plea over the Hutchins death, which is right. Shouldn't have been. I don't know why they're charging the guy with anything. Oh, Rihanna to perform "Lift Me Up" at the Oscars. What's all this Rihanna stuff all the time lately? Like, she's pregnant too, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. See, I'm behind on that one.
It was a big thing on the Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of that stuff.
Over
So
it now as well.
Why? She's pregnant. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of life. Ohio, and that toxic train crash, it killed 45,000 animals. And you're telling me that's not toxic? And of course, those winter storms across the U.S. and Canada. R. Kelly, he gets an extra prison time after his latest sex abuse conviction. This guy's a real creep.
Yeah, but it's at the point now where you just expect it. So there's not even much point in reporting it, in my opinion. It's just
his music.
A new year,
Like
same crap, different day. You know.
Absolutely.
Japan's mystery ball removed from the beach. Did you hear about that ball come up on the beach in Japan? Weird. TikTok is under investigation by Canadian privacy authorities. Of course, they're owned by the Chinese government.
And that's not new either.
Nope.
No.
No.
Well-preserved 3,500-year-old bear was discovered in Siberian permafrost.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was
That's
very
cool.
Check out the picture
Ooh.
of the bear.
I will.
It looks like the bear just died yesterday. Well, maybe a couple of days ago.
Well, permafrost, it's kind of preserved, right? I'm thinking.
Of course, and the Dances with Wolves star Nathan Chasing Horse is indicted in Nevada over the sex abuse case. I like that movie, Dancing with Wolves.
Oh, excellent movie.
It was.
That's a shame. I hope they disprove that one.
Yeah. And so much has happened this weekend, as a matter of fact. An Alaskan woman got trampled by a moose while she was walking her dog in Anchorage. That's on video.
Jeez, I'm really behind the times. I didn't know about that one either.
Yeah, the lady...
boy, oh boy. Wow.
She was filming the moose running along the sidewalk, and then she noticed the lady walking her dog up there, and the moose trampled on her leg.
Oh, wow.
The lady's okay, though. That's okay. And now, this is what you were talking about. Google is blocking news content for some Canadians in response to the government bill.
It's just the beginning.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Trudeau has it his way.
That's an entire show. We'll talk about that.
No, that's an entire month,
show for that
maybe,
one.
Exactly.
of shows.
Space telescopes have uncovered a massive galaxy and galaxies near the cosmic dawn. What's the cosmic dawn? That's the center of everything, right? The Big Bang? Is that what they mean by
I
that?
think so. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Because I'm not that sure myself, but I think they mean is old school places. You know what I mean? Old school. The new Netflix password, sharing the roles likely to be repeated by other streamers, so look out, folks. Here comes that stuff at you, full barrel. French student allegedly stabbed a teacher to death in front of others. Did you hear about that one? See,
Yes, I
telling you all
did.
this stuff.
I did. I knew about that
These
one.
are all the headlines, and we'll get through them. Of course, the big news this week is that milder winters are affecting the maple syrup harvest. It's going to make it a little bit sweeter because of the warmer weather, apparently. I didn't know that. I got a can of maple syrup in there. It's 2-3 years old.
I used to take both my sons. We went to every year, wherever we were, we'd go to the maple sugar bush. Are you kidding me? That was, I loved it.
Donuts. I
Even
like
if
the
they
taste of
didn't.
Maple. I don't like maple with meat, though. It doesn't go together with meat. Like McDonald's, they have those.
Well,
breakfast-
burger, but they have
Yeah.
they have bacon too. Maple,
Maple
Yeah, but
bacon
bacon.
is
meat
really
and
good.
maple doesn't go together.
just like pizza and pineapple, right? You
No,
one of
it doesn't.
those?
Doesn't
Oh
go
my
Yeah.
God.
See,
together.
you and I are on a different page because I'm the pineapple and pizza, and I'll have
I'm right
like
there with you.
I'll have like triple pineapple.
Yep.
I think that.
Now I know what to order when we get pizza.
I think
Hawaiian.
pineapple pizza was invented by Mark Panopoulos' uncle in Chatham, Ontario. Because
Seriously?
pineapple pizza was invented in Ontario.
I didn't know
wow.
that. Okay, there's trivia for me.
And
Yeah.
Cool.
by a man named Panopoulos. I don't know. Yeah, and we're trying to find out if Mark is related. He's probably is.
Mark, if you're watching this, you usually
He's
do. I
always
know you
watching.
do. Let us
Mark.
know. The feed down below. We're waiting to hear from you.
This is huge news. Paul McCartney comes together with arch rivals the Rolling Stones on the new album. He's going to sing a track or play bass or something. I have no idea. But he's going to play with the Rolling Stones, which is pretty cool.
You know that's been something that's been discussed, I think, off and on,
Yeah.
because they all collaborate in solos together
Well, they're all
and stuff
friends
like that.
anyway. They
So
all
that'd
party.
be interesting. Yeah, that would be
Of course,
kind of
they don't
cool.
party anymore, right? They're in their 80s, right?
Oh, don't
70s,
kid yourself. Keith Richards is going to party when he's in his grave.
And of course,
That's not
Keith-
going to change.
But who's Keith going to hang around with when we're all dead? You know what I mean?
The next
Who's gonna
generation.
be-
That's not
yes,
going to stop
next
them.
generation. All right. I love my Rolling Stones. Guns N' Roses plotting an extensive 2023 world tour. 4 Canadian dates as well.
Oh wow, awesome.
And isn't that great? And here's a good line. It's not that funny, really. Pilot thought instructor who died in flight was just pretending. Guy died in midair. The Antarctic sea ice hit record lows again, and scientists are wondering if it's the beginning of the end. And we know global warming, right? Global warming. Biden visits Zelensky, of course. So much news this week. The Turkey earthquake, the alligator in Brooklyn. Can you believe they got an alligator in Brooklyn, New York, right in downtown New York City? Brooklyn's its own home.
Well, occasionally they see whales and sharks, or sharks mainly, in cold water, and they're not the cold water or lake sharks. They're from the ocean, and we occasionally come across them. So why not an alligator?
Richard Belzer dies, TV detective and stand-up comic. He's 78. He was a radio announcer too. Of course, he was on TV. He was a big star. So that's some sad news. This is the saddest news of the week too. Along with Belzer is Jimmy Carter going into hospice.
Yeah.
And if I had to think of a kind-hearted human being, not just a president, but a guy that would go out in his 90s and have bruises all over him and help build houses for the homeless. Could you ask for a better president than that? Really?
Absolutely
No matter
not.
if you're a Republican or a Democrat, doesn't matter. Human beings. He's going to be sadly missed. You know, he's going up there for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's so sad. He's in his hospice now, and the family
Yeah, I
has
heard that.
requested for be quiet. But I'm
Give them their
watching-
time.
I'm watching the newscasts every day, saying is it today, the day. But we're going to be announcing that soon, and that's very sad. And of course, the Tyree Nichols thing continues, all that stuff. Oh, by the way, the last news item I'll talk about. An amateur balloonist group from Illinois says a small balloon last reported over Alaska is missing in action. You think that's the one that they had that $700,000 missile and shot down above Alaska? That might be the
Who
one that you're
knows?
missing.
Yeah.
There's not too many balloons.
I stopped paying attention to it, honestly.
That whole thing got really ridiculous.
It
didn't
did. It did.
You know, and it created all kinds of social media memes and stuff.
If anything, people had fun with it.
Are you ready for your rock and roll?
I'm always ready to rock and roll. There you go.
But of course, Leah works very hard on our trivia, and on the radio station in the morning, what I'm doing when I post all the news and stuff and links, we're going to do a song of the day, one on GTA and one on 108.
Cool.
This morning it was off the White Album.
Which one? The Beatles. Which one?
The Beatles.
Yeah. Which one though?
Can't remember now. But I'm showing my age, right? But I do remember that it's Michelle Schock's birthday today. She's 61.
Mm-hmm.
And Anchorage was our song of the day on GTA today. So thought I'd mention
Happy birthday.
And there you go. That's a track from the Beatles album. I can't remember. Check Facebook.
You have to listen to hear it.
I think it was on my
Know which one it
14th
is.
coffee this morning when I posted that.
You should have been awake by then.
Now,
He's ignoring that one.
Alice Cooper is a huge fan of The Simpsons, and in 2004, he was asked to contribute a storyline for the edition of Bongo Comics' Bart Simpson's Treehouse of Horror, a special Monsters of Rock issue that also included stories plotted by Gene Simmons.
Have you ever seen the cover of that?
No. I've never seen that, actually, to tell you the truth. There's
Oh,
another one
the
that's
comic itself, it's got Gene Simmons and Alice Cooper, but in comic form and looking kind of, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Kiss and Alice Cooper, two giant superstar bands.
Well, they both had all their makeup on for it, so
Awesome.
yeah.
Corey Taylor of Slipknot was quoted as saying, "We like to play dominoes before a show." A little bit of history too for that February 23rd. In 1970, this week, Ringo Starr guest on Laugh-In, making his first solo TV appearance. I didn't know that. I guess he was always on the Beatles, right? So,
Yeah, they all did their own little stints here and there,
Yeah.
solos.
And this week in 1997, during a show at the London Astoria, Tool's lead singer Maynard James Keenan, an Army veteran and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, floors a fan who comes on stage and keeps him in a chokehold.
And keep singing.
Oh
He
my God.
continues to sing, push it, while detaining the fan. With this arm here, he's singing on the
There's photos of him on top. This guy's on the stage, and he's on top, and he's singing.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that at all.
Why would anybody storm a stage? It's like they're there to see the band.
Hey,
Shut up.
it gave him a little extra in the show. Maybe it was set up. Who knows?
Well, you never know. I mean, it's a remarkably clever stint if he did make that.
He kept on singing, so I don't know.
All right, and this week in 1997, after declaring a truce in an effort to end violence between East Coast and West Coast rappers, Puff Daddy and Snoop Doggy Dogg appear on the Steve Harvey Show in the episode I Do, I Don't. And that was an interesting piece of TV history. There was a lot of trouble between...
Well, there was so much between them, eh?
See, I'm not a big rap
I'm not either. I like Snoop Dogg, though. I do like him.
Well, the name of Snoop Dogg because he looked like a dog.
Snoopy, I know I told you that. Remember in one of my clips? See, because he looked like
See what
Snoopy.
you learned from her? You
Looks
know
like
so
Snoopy.
much.
His parents called him that. Snoopy. Snoop.
Snoop Dogg was named because he looked like Snoopy when he was a baby.
And see, I didn't know that.
When he was younger.
Yet I grew
His
up
parents
with him.
called. That was his parents. His parents gave him the nickname Snoop.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not a big rap connoisseur.
No,
what
I'm not
saying
either.
is, but
I'm
I
not
know
either,
the
but-
the East Coast and the West Coast have a tremendous rivalry and a big, it was a gangster type of thing.
Yep.
People
Until
died because of it.
until Steve Harvey came in and said, "Let's go. We're going to do this." And there you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Daisy. Was it Canfield?
Canfield, Danziger.
Danziger, all heiress and estranged wife of silent screen star Antonio Moreno, dies on the way home from a party when her car careens off of Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles. The music connection is Daisy allegedly haunts her former home, the Paramore Mansion, which has been the site of many album recording sessions from My Chemical Romance and The Black Parade to Papa Roach's The Paramore Sessions. After Daisy's death, the property went through several iterations, functioning as a convent and a girls' school before Dana Hollister bought it in 1998 turned it into an event space. Hollister was open with Papa Roach when Papa Roach when the Rockers dedicated the record at the remote estate in Silver Lakes back in 2006, warning them of its haunted reputation. But the band credited the house's vibe for boosting their creative energy. And you're a paranormal host.
I am.
Being a member of.
I'd love to go.
Wouldn't it? Now there's a place you should go that you really should go to, and I've been there a couple of times. I never worked there, but Hits FM in St. Catharines.
Oh yeah.
97.7.
Yeah.
The mansion there is haunted. You guys should. And aren't they? Those guys, Kim and Kimberly, they're down that way now. I think down towards. Oh no, it wasn't Peterborough.
No, Kimberly's gone to Peterborough, and Kim's still in Camp. No, Kim's got her house in
But Hits FM
in
is
Campbellville
haunted,
still.
And a few of my buddies that work there said, yeah, it's a creepy place.
Oh wow.
Well, this one that they changed, this Paramore, lot of bands go, right? A lot of bands go there and studio work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they say that there is things that happen when they're there,
Oh, yeah. The
Right?
energy there is so high. The energy
and I mean
level
that's from
is-
years ago. That was back in 19. I don't remember what the date was. You didn't include it in here, but it was 19. Was it 1930 something or 19 when that happened with her? But anyways, yeah.
This week in 1999, Eminem drops his first major label, Asylum, the Slim Shady LP. He quickly becomes the most controversial rapper in the game. In the mid-90s, Eminem made a name for himself at rap battles and open mics in the Detroit area, and in 1998 released an independent album, Infinite, that bombed. His fortunes improved the next year when Dr. Dre heard his demo and signed him to his Aftermath label, producing 3 tracks for his debut, including the first single, My Name Is.
My name is.
Yeah.
My name is.
Yeah, but that is
My
a good
name
song.
is.
Yeah, but I like that song. Catchy, right? That's where he introduced his alter ego, Slim Shady, of course. Again, I'm not a big rap connoisseur, but Eminem, they say if you hear some of his early stuff where he was competing, it was amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure with the stuff that he did for his genre, I think was amazing. But you know me, I'm kind of cemented into the 60s and 70s. That's
If
kind
you
of just
gave
how it
her
goes.
an America's Greatest Hits album and sent her to a desert island, she'd be happy.
I would.
Yep.
She would. So would I, as a matter of fact.
Well, just give me that. Yeah, some sunshine.
God, I love
Good.
America, eh? What a great band they were. All right.
One of my favorites.
Here's a tidbit from Leah. Joe Elliott of Def Leppard was quoted as saying, "We have a rule of thumb. If I throw a TV out of the window, the other 4 guys in the band are going to turn around to me and say, hey, that's 500 pounds out of your pocket, not ours." So if you wanted to do the Keith Moon, you had to pay for it in that band. And
Not the whole band paying for it either.
Yeah.
We're splitting it.
Alicia Keys' first record was Salt and Pepper, Assault with a Deadly Pepper. Isn't that interesting?
Huh?
Alicia Keys, you don't hear too much from her anymore, do you?
No.
No, not so
A lot of hits
much.
in the 90s, though.
She got some good stuff.
In 1978, the Police appeared in a Wrigley's chewing gum commercial for United
Yeah.
States television. The band dyed their hair blonde for the appearance. I remember that.
That's when it started,
Yeah.
with their hair being blonde,
Yeah.
with all 3 of them being blonde. Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing
Yeah.
how trivia. People love trivia. What we're doing right now, they love it. They eat it up. In 2002, 2 middle-aged women spent the first of 8 nights sleeping in a car outside Bournemouth International Centre to make sure they were the first in the queue when tickets for Cliff Richard's forthcoming concert went on sale. And Cliff Richard, well, I'll tell you, my sister, she's 15
Avril?
years older than me. My sister
Avril? Yeah.
She was a big Seekers fan, but she was an even bigger Cliff Richard fan.
Yeah.
And,
I believe
whenever
it.
Whenever I hear Cliff Richard, he was the Elvis of the UK. Like, he had a few hits here in North America, but in England, man, he had like.
Oh, he was
different
really
genres.
big in different areas, most definitely.
Whenever I hear Cliff Richard, I think of my sister. That and Georgie Girl by the Seekers is another one.
Oh my God, I haven't heard that in
Hey
so
there,
long.
Georgie Girl.
Holy crap, that's an early 70s.
No, that's 60,
Or late 60s then?
65, 66.
I was just born then.
67. Sorry.
I thought it was early, like 71. Okay, I'm off
No,
for about
you're
5
talking about
years.
The New Seekers, I'd like to teach the world
To
to sing.
sing perfect harmony.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're
Even I
awakened.
know that one.
Yeah. That was an old Coke commercial.
That is.
And
Remember that one? Wow, that was played forever.
that's right.
Over and over and over and over.
2002, drummer Ronnie Verrill died at the age of 76. He worked with Ted Heath Orchestra and the Sid Lawrence Orchestra and provided the drum licks for Animal in the Muppet Show, as a matter of fact. When American drummer Buddy Rich, one of his heroes, guested on the show, Verrill, as Animal, had a drumming duo with Rich, and one after Animal smashed a snare drum over Rich's head. Buddy Rich was a great drummer. And there's so many
I agree.
drummers
I
like
concur that.
Lee.
I always think of Lee because when we all started working together, we still kind of joke a little bit about him being Animal. I did, anyways.
Yeah. In 2008, after much controversy and debate over whether or not to honor recently deceased musician and Mississippi native Ike Turner, the state legislature compromises and passes a resolution that honors his musical achievements. Oh, there's a lot of question marks about that fella.
Well, I think there was a lot of question marks about them even doing that, but I think if they felt that he did have musical achievements that should be recognized regardless.
Well, it'll go down in rock and roll history. There's no doubt about it. As Ike and Tina Turner are a part of music history.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what that says. What does that say? It says 19 seconds.
You shut it off. It doesn't matter. Go on.
Keep
rolling.
I was wondering earlier why I was looking at it. It looked like 19 seconds.
Keep rocking and rolling, honey.
Yeah. I know what time is roughly.
I just cleared it.
You want to start it again?
No.
We'll do math. All right. There's a wee tidbit. ABBA songwriters Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus have only allowed 2 acts to sample their music. The Fugees used part of The Name of the Game on their 1996 track Rumble in the Jungle, and Madonna featured Gimme 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 on their 2005 hit Hung Up. And talking about
Rumble in the Jungle, eh? I haven't heard that in years either. Holy Moses.
Yeah,
It's an oldie.
it is an oldie, eh?
Oh, few years.
Tina Turner in 1989 was quoted, "I became the first black female rock star. I had that credibility. I filled my stadium. I satisfied myself, so I never went back on stage again. It would be fine." And a little bit of history and trivia for February 21st. In 1964, New York-based band The Echoes recruited a new, young, unknown piano player by the name of Billy Joel.
Billy Joel and the
wow.
Echoes.
Yeah. Well, he's a real.
They weren't. They were. I don't think they played very long together before he moved on his own.
Well, his first hit was 73, 72, around there. And yeah, so it would be around that time period. And in 1968, Genesis releases their first single, The Silent Sun. And at the point, the band is a 5-piece, fronted by Peter Gabriel with Chris Stewart on drums. Phil Collins joins 2 years later. Early Genesis, early 70s stuff, Trick of the Tail. That's not the Genesis that was more commercialized later.
No.
I think
No, it
that
wasn't.
Phil Collins came into Genesis and changed the band a little bit. But they were
Whole
an
lot.
album
He's
rock cult
he's such a
band.
diverse and amazing, talented man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's not easy to play drums and vocalize like he does. That's
he's
that's a
almost
talent.
crippled now. It's hurt his back.
Yeah,
But,
he's got a
man,
few issues now,
when you
but
listen
yeah.
to In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, so we were talking about that
One of
earlier.
my, yeah, we were.
Man,
It's
and
one of my favorite songs growing up as a
Yeah.
teenager.
And if you don't
Yep.
drum, I don't care what you're doing. Driving on the freeway, sitting in your living room.
Oh, I do
If
it
you
with my
don't
car
do
all the
this-
time.
If you don't do this when Phil hits the right
Oh, I know.
time.
Oh
you
no,
know,
it's like
Yep.
you know, yeah, I mean everybody does. It's like
Yep.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Epic stuff. But they were known as more of an album rock band in the early 70s. You know, right there?
Yeah,
Call me
okay.
Fidget.
No, you keep pinning my vest to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pin you, baby.
And I'll just shift over a little bit.
Now, you two.
Because my vest is going like this. So. There we go. We're good.
You're a band, and I know they're your band because you keep telling us Led Zeppelin released Rock and Roll 4 Sticks as a 7-inch single in the U.S., peaking at number 47 on the chart. The song was written as a spontaneous jam session while the band were trying to finish 4 Sticks. And drummer John Bonham played the introduction to Little Richard's Keep a Knockin', and Page added a guitar riff. With the tapes rolling, the basic song was finished 15 minutes later. And
That's quick
Yeah,
for their stuff.
yeah.
It was done.
But what an amazing band. Led Zeppelin. They're iconic.
Every one of them in that
I
band.
don't think there's a generation that hasn't listened to them. Like
Well, they're
even
the-
my generation
They're
grew up listening to them.
Along with the Beatles, I'd say they're the Beethoven of our generation.
Yeah.
That will be remembered 200 years from now.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to remember we had leaving you a lot of wonderful history with audio files and stuff now that you can MP3s and stuff. But as far as when you think of classical music, you think of Beethoven. When you think of rock, you think of the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd.
I always say I don't think I've ever heard. Now that's not true. We did talk about one of the songs, Kashmir. I told you to check. I don't know if you checked that video out that my brother put up that Alice in Chains did with
When
Lane,
did they actually do
which
that?
was amazing.
Alice in Chains are a great
He
band.
shared it to
They
my
are.
page. But anyways, Robert Plant, there's his moaning and groaning and his everything he did was amazing. Although Lane, I have to admit, with my brother, I agreed with him. That one with the orchestra behind, I'd almost say it possibly beats when Zeppelin did their own song. It was
In
amazing.
1982, American DJ Murray the K died. Murray is thought to be the first person to play a Beatles record on radio in America. During the early days of Beatlemania, the frequency referred to himself as, or he frequently, referred to himself as the fifth Beatle. He was married 6 times. He died of cancer the week after his 60th birthday.
I think he would have given up after maybe twice, 3 times, anyways.
He's a great DJ, a great creative man.
6 times.
Great creative man in New York.
Determined.
Radio. He was a superstar
Get it right.
on New York radio, Murray the K.
Yes, I know. I'm definitely familiar.
It's Murray the K and the Swinging Soiree. You know what I mean? But people that lived in New York were so blessed with some great radio. And of course, he was the one that really helped launch the Beatles and get the kids, because they're all listening to this big New York
On the
station,
radio,
Murray
yeah,
the K.
for
And
sure.
he heard them and he's playing the Beatles, and he was the first. Stu Patterson
US.
was one of the first to play Beatles records in Canada. Right?
I can remember listening to Stu years ago.
Yeah. And,
I remember listening to Stu years ago.
Stu,
It was it was fun to meet him this summer,
Oh, yeah.
and actually put the face to the voice. Eh,
He's an old
it was
pro.
good.
Old pro.
He is great guy.
But, the radio station he worked at in Smiths Falls got the first bunch of Beatles
Yeah, I didn't know
the
that.
mail-outs
That's cool.
for the radio stations.
Way to go, Stu!
So Stu, yeah, he was one of the first in Canada to play the Beatles on little CJET in Smiths Falls. Ontario.
Okay.
There you go. And then we have February the 20th, 1941. We're talking about her earlier, Buffy St. Marie, the native Canadian singer-songwriter and Sesame Street regular, is born Beverly St. Maria in Coupel Valley, Saskatchewan, right? I thought it was Northern Ontario, and you're right. Again, Saskatchewan. Raised in Massachusetts by her adoptive parents, Buffy earns degrees in teaching and philosophy from the University of Massachusetts, but is continually drawn to her childhood passion of creating music. She taught herself music herself. Like she taught.
Yes.
She learned it playing as a little girl. She would play and she'd make noises that pleased herself when she was 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
You know. Also, one of the hottest looking ladies in the world.
Still is.
Still
For a
is.
woman her age, let me tell you, she
you know,
rocks it.
I had a crush on her, just like everybody else.
I did too, and I'm not that way.
I know, yeah. Oh, there's an entire entirely new show.
Okay, and on to the next.
All right, so in
Yeah, what about that one?
1964, we're going to carry on with her now. She makes waves in the folk community with the release of her debut album, It's My Way, a scathing treatise on the variety of topics, including the mistreatment of Native Americans. Now That the Buffalo's Gone, a great song. And the perpetration of the Vietnam War with Universal Soldier, which is a great song.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
cover version of that.
Very big.
And, that's her song, actually. Her own drug addiction inspires the track Cool Line, and which becomes a folk standard with covers from Donovan, Janis Joplin, and the Charlatans. So she's definitely made some noise in her time, and a great Canadian lady, and a great Canadian performer over the years.
Oh, definitely.
Now here's some more tidbits. How are we doing for time there? I have no idea.
I'm already ahead of it.
31:17.
31. We're good. I'm already on it.
31 minutes past the hour, folks, of the Air Radio Network. You see? Oh, I
There we go.
tied that in there. See? Just like Harvey Kirk. Right there.
Smooth.
See, I think my buddy out west, the radio buddy, says, you look like Harvey Kirk. It's because of the hat I was wearing. I was wearing my gangster hat last week. And I was leaning in, so I looked like Harvey. He didn't say you looked like Lloyd Robertson, though. Yeah.
No, I agree with
Those
that,
under
though.
the age of 30 going,
I agree with that. You don't look like Lloyd Robinson. I don't.
I told you earlier, I look like Elvis. People have stopped me
Okay.
always at the mall.
Just not Lloyd
Get their
Robertson.
hound up.
I don't see that. I don't see that resemblance. Sorry.
All right, Chrissy Hynde in The Pretenders, pardon me. Her first concert was the Rolling Stones. She went to see that show in Cleveland, Ohio in 1966. And there's a gal you don't hear about too much anymore. And I missed this.
She's
Smokey
past,
Robinson
isn't
one.
she? I thought she was past now. No,
Who?
she's still alive. Chrissy Hynde.
Yeah, Chrissy Hynde's still alive.
She's
as
still
far
alive.
as
Why
I
did
know.
I think she was gone?
Now you're going to
Anyways.
get me with another earworm and thing. I have to go look see if Chrissy's dead.
No, it could be. I think I'm thinking of
If
somebody
you're
else.
alive,
It's
Chrissy,
all
we
good.
apologize for this.
Yeah.
Growing up in Detroit, Smokey Robinson lived next door to Diana Ross.
Yep.
They
They
have
grew up
known
together.
each other since she was 8 years old. Imagine that.
Yep.
The two of them living next door to each other when they're 8.
And all the way through their life.
yeah, all the way through
They
their
they
life.
were together off and on, many public appearances and shows and.
When you think about it, they must be really close. It's like sister and brother.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah. Okay, here's some more
I know they
trivia
were.
from this week. 1949, Rick Nelson. People often mistake me for him in the mall as well. Joins the cast of his parents.
You ever heard of Invasion of the
Radio.
Body Snatchers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Russ is part of that crew.
I think so. we're heading that way, I think.
He his parents' radio show was The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which will make
an old
release
show.
to television in 1952. In 1959, 16-year-old Jimi Hendrix made his stage debut when he played a show at the Temple de Hirsch Synagogue in Seattle. And that's hard to say. I'll tell you that.
Say that 3 times fast.
How'd you like to say? Get your lips around that one. All right. In 2003, 100 people died after pyrotechnics
That was sad.
ignited a club during a gig by Great White in West Warwick, Rhode Island. Great White's guitarist Ty Langley was also killed in the accident. 2 brothers who owned the club were charged, along with the former tour manager, with involuntary manslaughter. And foam soundproofing material at the edge of the stage set alight, and the blaze spread quickly in the 1-story wooden building as the fans tried to escape through the same exit. Well, it's a nightmare.
It gutted.
And Great
It was
White
it was to the ground pretty much. It was pretty brutal.
Great White began to tour in July 2003 to raise money for the survivors and families of victims. That's definitely not a great day in rock and roll history to remember.
No, it was not.
Another bad day is the Who concert in Cincinnati. Took the lives of so many kids. 2007, the U.S. hair salon where pop star Britney Spears shaved her head set up a website to auction her hair. For
Actually,
more
it was
than-
her hairdresser that did that,
yeah,
I think.
for
Right?
more than $1 million. The website created to sell Britney's hair claimed to have been set up by salon owner Esther Tugnozzo, including photos of the hair saying it was absolutely authentic, as well as the hair. The winning bidder would also get hair clippers. Spears had used a blue lighter she left at the salon and the can of Red Bull she was drinking at the time.
Oh
Meanwhile,
my
And-
gosh.
Meanwhile, Spears was spotted in Hollywood sporting a short blonde wig.
And you know, when I got the information, there was actually a link to the hairdresser's website
Yeah?
or something along that line, and the Google would not let me post it. It would come up with a message that no, I could not post it. I had to remove it and reword it to put it on, to have that
It's
passage.
got a great business idea now.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I don't want to be
And we're gonna do it
spontaneous.
on camera?
No, it's okay. Just kidding. These guys think I'm spontaneous. Spontaneous. Look at that
I was gonna say,
squirrel.
quick, shut it off.
Yep.
Look at the squirrel in that tree. Never mind. 2010, an event was staged at the Barbican in London where 40 zebra finches made music by landing on guitars and cymbals. The flock of finches would land on Gibson Les Paul guitars, which were plugged into amplifiers, and land on upturned cymbals being used as bird feeders to make the random sounds. A video clip of the installation on YouTube has been watched by 520,000 people.
You gotta watch it. I've seen it. Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
It's kind of like Dutch pores in audio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eh?
Uh-huh.
And you're an artist,
You don't know
what
what's
I'm
gonna
talking
come out.
about.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And they're pretty little birds too. So to watch and hear is really
So right
both
after,
senses.
right after I check out Jerry Springer, I'm going to go watch the birds.
No, I think you should check out
No,
this.
no,
Then
no,
go
no, no.
check out Jerry Springer. This
I
is
have
a
to
little more
agree.
important.
Or the Telencels on our local.
And that's a combination of these. So there you go.
In 2013, David Cassidy has not fallen off the wagon. The former Partridge Family star explains 2 days after giving what appeared to be a drunken performance at a concert outside of Los Angeles, complete with a slurring and stumbling over lyrics. He tells People magazine the real reason for his behavior, dementia. Cassidy, whose grandfather and mother, actress Evelyn Ward, as a matter of fact, both had the disease, decides to stop touring, saying, I want to focus on what I am, who I am, and how I've been without any distractions. I want love, I want to enjoy life, and of course, he does.
And there's actually a recording of that interview, and I guess at one point he was a little disjointed from Shirley Jones and his father, and they did not that I don't know what was going on, but anyways, this was a very sad piece for I think
Well, I think
the family.
He was an amazing entertainer at one time. And
Most definitely.
I enjoyed him on Partridge Family. I loved Partridge. I watched
So did I.
that
Well,
stuff.
that was like
I eat
after
that
school,
stuff up.
every
That's
day
my
after
life.
school.
Yeah.
Come home.
And
There was
my
the
ex-wife
Partridge.
Sue, who,
Monkeys.
hello Sue, one of my exes out west, she used to
One
say,
of my exes.
And one of my exes, yeah.
All kinds of them.
No, I love her to death. She's in Lethbridge, Alberta. She's my ex. And
Yep.
she always used to say she wished they'd shoved all the Partridge Family on that bus and shoved them off of a cliff. And I remember...
She really liked them apparently.
Sounds like it.
No, she was joking, but you know, we both used to watch the show together. But yeah, I mean, it's like Leave It to Beaver, right? You know, and David Cassidy was a lot bigger than he
Leave it to
was
Beaver.
here.
Oh God, you're really showing your age now.
Wally looks exactly the same as he did. Well, not anymore. He died now, but he was. Wally looked pretty much the same as he aged, and so did Jerry Mathers.
Yeah, they did very much so.
Very much the same.
They didn't
Sadly,
change. Just
Wally
got older. Just got older.
Yeah,
Showed a
we
bit
all
of
get
age,
older.
but other than that, I
And,
agree.
You know, June Cleaver, she's still alive, isn't she? I think.
I lost track of her years ago. I couldn't tell
Ward
you.
died years ago. Didn't he?
Yeah, Ward did. I knew that, but I have no idea.
A documentation on the life of Cassidy. He had a lot of problems with drinking and alcohol.
Well, that's basically, I think, what killed him.
And
Unfortunately.
you know, he had a wonderful relationship with his brother Sean Cassidy, who also charted a couple of hits to do Run.
Yeah.
Run, and,
To do run,
Hey
run,
Deanie,
to do
remember Hey
run,
Deanie?
run.
Hey Deanie.
Oh yeah, they were big hits for him.
But him and Sean
Big.
had a wonderful relationship, and David was Sean's big brother, and I saw in an interview with Sean Cassidy, the other side of David Cassidy, the big brother side, who used to be up on the top bunk, bugging his little brother on the bottom bunk.
And it's always fun when you hear things about all these famous people that they're actually people.
In England, he was huge. In England, he had like singles that were on the charts as well, just with himself.
Yeah.
He was at Donny Osmond's. Him and Donny Osmond in England were pretty close. But every girlfriend I had in the 70s had a poster of Donny Osmond.
Really?
Early 70s.
No, see, I was the David Cassidy poser, not the Donny
I was
Osmond.
12, 13. I wasn't
Donny
really-
Osmond didn't
but
do it.
The girls that were my friends, when I went to their bedroom, they would have the Osmonds and the Jackson 5.
Oh, did they have the Bay City Rollers too?
No, that came later, 75, 76.
Yeah, it was a bit later, but the same. I know girls when I was growing up, on their wall there was all of those and the Bay City Rollers. I never understood that really, honestly. I didn't get the Bay City Roller thing. It
Really?
just no.
I like the Bay City
Oh no, I didn't mind some of their music, but the attraction to them.
Well, they were Scottish. They wore tartans.
They were very Scottish.
And just like we're Canadian, and we've got our accent.
Nothing wrong with them. I'm just talking. Girls put those on their walls for a reason. I'm just
Almost
saying.
a
I didn't get
so
it.
We'd like to
I didn't get
remind
it.
you that, we have 2 radio stations, well 3 actually, but for our national radio we have FM108.ca, Canada's oldest station, and we have radiogta.ca, which is our free-form anything goes. We have some great shows on both stations on the weekends. Join us for that. And we have a local radio as well, Halton Hills Online.
And if you go to our website, all 3 radio players are there. So if you're listening to a song on one, you think, oh, I want to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You can flip back and forth from our pages, and you can listen to all 3.
And hello to Party Dog, our other affiliate, Mike Devine.
Hi, Mike.
I'm on Party Dog, jamming on the 1, 6 to
I know.
Right now, Big Daddy. Looking
I
up,
know
Big
you
Daddy.
are.
So
Moving
yeah,
up there.
I grew up
very
listening to him.
very, Mike Devine?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
He's one of my best friends, the
See,
Party
Joy?
Dog. And, yeah. So join us, and what is it I'm supposed to say? You say it so I don't screw it up.
Expanding community worldwide.
Is that it? From Halton Hills, Canada. Amanda, come up here and show. This is Amanda. She's working with us. She'll be doing some video in later, and she's producing the show today.
Hi,
You
guys.
did a wonderful job. It's great being surrounded by 2 gorgeous women. Just gorgeous.
We're not one of his exes, just to clarify this.
No.
Yeah, no.
We love him, but no, we're just
These are-
clarifying
these
we're
are
not an
2
ex.
of my little sisters here, Amanda and Leah. So we'll see you next week, folks. We're brought to you by the Canadian travel industry. COVID killed us for a few years there, and it's time to get back to normal. And say hello to Don Cherry as well, who's on our stations right across the.
You do a great job, Don. It's nice seeing you out there again.
Right on. We'll see you next week, right here from the Air Radio Network.
Have a great week, everybody.
I'm doing. No, I.